called the snake. So I have it. Does anybody want to hear it again? You sure? Are you sure? Okay. So let's dedicate this to General Kelly, the Border Patrol, and the ICE agents for doing such an incredible job. Right? This was written by Al Wilson a long time ago. And I thought of it having to do with our borders and people coming in. And we know what we're going to have. We're going to have problems. We have to very, very carefully vet. We have to be smart. We have to be vigilant. So here it is, the snake. It's called the snake. On her way to work one morning, down the path along the lake, a tender-hearted woman saw a poor, half-frozen snake. His pretty-colored skin had been all frosted with the dew. "Poor thing," she cried, "I'll take you in, and I'll take care of you." The border. "Take me in, O tender woman. Take me in, for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman," sighed the vicious snake. She wrapped him up all cozy in a comforter of silk and laid him by her fireside with some honey and some milk. She hurried home from work that night, and as soon as she arrived, she found that pretty snake she'd taken in had been revived. "Take me in, O tender woman. Take me in, for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman," sighed that vicious snake. She clutched him to her bosom. "You're so beautiful," she cried. "But if I hadn't brought you in by now, oh heavens, you would have died." She stroked his pretty skin again and kissed him and held him tight. But instead of saying thank you, that snake gave her a vicious bite. "Take me in, O tender woman. Take me in, for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman," sighed the vicious snake. "I have saved you," cried the woman, "and you've bitten me, heavens, why? You know your bite is poisonous, and now I'm going to die." "Oh, shut up, silly woman," said the reptile with a grin. "You knew damn well I was a snake before you took me in."
Okay. You guys seen that video? The reason I'm upset is because so many people have fallen not only to the deception, but they can't see the symbolism in what he wrote. There's a lot of it. It was exactly 7 years ago. Think about that, 7. Okay? That he announced this. He was 100 days in office. 7 years ago. 7. 7 is a very big prophetic number. It means completion. 7 days to create the world. On the 7th day, he rested. Okay, the fact that she fed this snake milk and honey. God has a place prepared that is milk and honey. And that place is overflowing. Remember, because when Moses and his people were wandering in the wilderness, they were supposed to go in the land of milk and honey, but they didn't. Instead, Caleb and Joshua, whatever, because they were all afraid. But they weren't. They ended up seeing it, and Moses was disobedient, smashed the rock, and so on and so forth. So he never entered the promised land. But the thing is, We have opened the woman, okay, Israel, opened themselves to this snake. The whole world has opened themselves to this snake. And so the poem, as he says it, at the end, you knew dang well, only use the other word, that I was a snake, and you still let me in. I know a lot of people are in disbelief. I'm not in disbelief, and I'm not going to let anybody tell me anything different. I have been shown this for years. But it's very disheartening because there's people out there that want to watch a video to get their information. They want to watch a video to get that news source. They don't want to go and do the research themselves. They want to hear someone else tell them. And then what happens is that person could be wrong, or that person didn't say something they didn't like, so they all of a sudden fall away. They don't like you anymore. They don't like what you have to say. You offended them. That's because their trust was never in God. It was in man. And that's exactly what this world has done. They have sold their souls. I'm not saying everybody. I'm just saying in general, they have sold themselves out. Sold us for 30 pieces of silver. Think about it. It is a big betrayal. God is sitting up there and he's angry. He's upset. He's not happy with this outcome, but he's going to allow this outcome because you prayed for it, because you wanted it. But what's going to happen is everyone welcomes him. Come January 20th, he gets sworn in, if that's fully the case. What I know is so deep and so hard to shake those who are asleep. I've tried for years on every platform, and many people don't want to hear it. And they don't want to hear it because it's not what they've been taught. It goes outside of their comfort zone. They don't want to study. They don't want to hear, oh, there's a possibility that my timeline could be wrong. They don't want to hear that that preacher is preaching falsely because they get the Spirit of God from them. They might get a little feel-good goosebumps here and there, but they still don't open God's Word and study for themselves. So that's it. I'm sorry. I'm at the ER and I thought my husband was coming out. Nothing major. Nothing major. So anyways, I'm very sad to know that there's a lot of people that are just like Moses. They'll never enter the land of milk and honey because Moses's people trusted him and not God. That's why they never entered the promised land. That's exactly what's happening today. The Bible is no joke. Everything's popping off of the pages left and right. Everything that I have said is coming to pass. Now, Kamala being the whore of Babylon, she's still here. She's still doing her damage. She still has 2 months to do it in. You don't know what she's going to do at all. But I know she's going to try and make the biggest mess, as I said, and Trump's going to come in and fix it. He's going to sweep it all. False sense of security. People are not placing their trust in God. You know, on the dollar bill, when it says, "In God we trust," no, it's not. And then you see the elite symbol. That's because people have placed their trust in man. Man has to make that money. Man has to go and have control over the people. That's the only way that they can get any type of peace around here, because they forgot about the peacemaker, the way maker, Jesus Christ. He's our ultimate peace. And he gives us peace if you allow him to. Right now there's so much chaos. This is the calm before the major storm. This is just the beginning. Our world is getting ready to be flipped completely upside down. Like I said, if you don't believe me, please go read it for yourself. Because there's not a word that I can say to wake you out of your sleep. The only one that can do that is Jesus Christ. And by you studying his word. We are in very crucial times. Very. So please do me a favor and stop relying on man. Start doing research for yourself. One last thing I want to say is Trump was for that. He's the one that got behind all that. Absolutely, he is 100% behind Project 2025. I've already done a video about that and showed proof about that, but that's still not enough for people. They believe that the Democrats are behind all that and all that's false. Good for you that you believe the media. I don't. I believe God's word. God's word trumps any media, anything that's going on. God's word always wins. And if you study, you won't be deceived either. You'll completely understand, but he wants Elon Musk by his side. Why do you think he was up there? He wants him as his what, advisor? Elon Musk did the Neuralink. Biometric system, he's going to be behind the mark. Absolutely. Why do you think he wants him by his side? Yeah. This whole situation is disheartening. It's sad. But people don't like talking about politics. And it's because you grew up being taught don't talk about religion and politics. Why? Because they don't want you knowing the truth. That's exactly it. And I'm not a sugarcoater. If you do not want to watch my videos, no sense in commenting. If you don't want to be a subscriber, unsubscribe. There's other people out there that's willing to hear the message, to hear the truth, to get out there and study. And I had a vision a little while ago that I was standing and I was preaching. I don't know if I was actually preaching or what I was doing, but I had a whole group of followers, and all of a sudden, one by one, they just disappeared until there was only 3 of us up there. 3, me and a couple other watchmen. Don't know who these watchmen were, but it was me and a couple others. And I was revealed that those people that fell away were Christians, followers. And that's exactly what's going to happen. Watch most of these channels because they didn't get the outcome that they're looking for, because they start waking up and start preaching the truth. People aren't going to want to hear it, so they're going to start unsubscribing. Oh, you you started talking about politics. I don't like that. You started talking about religion. I don't like that. Well, I'm sorry. You can't understand the Bible without politics. You can't understand the politics without the Bible. You can't understand it without God. All of this stuff that I present is from God. This is not my understanding. If it was, I certainly wouldn't need to do a video. I mean, no offense, I'm not that smart. I'm smart, but I'm not that smart. And you think it's easy to show face when people make videos about me and mock me and talk about me? No, but I do it anyway, because it's for the glory of God. You don't like me, you don't have to like me. You don't have to follow me. You don't have to do anything. It's freedom of choice. But you choose to listen and you choose to make those comments. And guess what? Therefore, you know the truth. You've heard it. You've been warned. See you there in the air. God bless.